channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 75 days I did not buy any clothes, the reason, the goal, the benefits, the lessons, and everything in between. For 75 days, I was meant to be doing like an all-round challenge. Primarily, it was focused on my health and my wellness, so I was meant to be exercising or going to the gym 5 days a week minimum, exercising for 90 minutes a day, drinking 2 liters of water, which doesn't sound like phenomenal, but I really struggle with drinking water. Like most of the time I have to will myself into drinking water, to read 10 pages at least of any book. A typical 75 hard challenge has your 10 pages of a non-fiction book. I didn't want to restrict myself to that. I was doing this with someone and we both didn't want to restrict ourselves to non-fiction books because we struggle with non-fiction books. Alcohol maximum 2 times in a month, eating out or snacking only once in a week, taking progress pictures every month so that you're able to tell like within the 75 days if any changes have happened. And I decided to add a no buy for clothes because I was realizing that my clothes were getting out of hand. Like I had a lot of clothes, but I also just didn't know if I liked the clothes that I have. I didn't know what was working, and the reason that I fell into that situation where I had a lot, or I fell into that habit of buying a lot of clothes, was my weight was changing and I was just frantically buying, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what do I look and feel good in. And so yeah, I had built that habit over time and I needed to just reset and be like, yeah, I have enough clothes, so I don't need to buy more. I developed a really positive body image. When I was gaining weight, I was starting to really dislike my body and I would really criticize it and be like, oh, I hate how much I've gained weight. And this is mostly because I was at my heaviest like in my life. And I didn't think that is something that would bother me, but it did. It did bother me because I've been petite most of my life. So I was like, oh, I don't like it here at all. So doing the challenge and also filming it, because I used to film my outfits. I saw this tip on TikTok or YouTube where when you're trying to understand your wardrobe a little bit more on your style, you film yourself or take pictures of the outfits. So I was doing that mostly for accountability so that I don't, because I'm saying I'm not buying any new clothes, I wanted to build outfits, see how they look, and also be accountable. So me putting it out there helped me like just not fall into the trap of buying new clothes. That really helped with my body image, because when I'd watch the videos I'd be like, yeah, I'm not as big as I think I am, like in my mind. I'm just bigger than I was before, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there are clothes that work really well for me. There are pairs of jeans that I really love. There are tops that I really love. And there are some that like now I understand why I don't like them at all. So that really helped me with that process. It helped me think through pairing different items within my wardrobe. So I had more room to be creative. And for the times I'd get stuck, I'd honestly just go on Pinterest, search for clothing items that I have and see how to style them. And I even developed like a Pinterest board with outfits with items within my wardrobe, so I didn't have to go out there and buy like a yellow dress because I saw a nice Pinterest outfit that is a yellow dress. So I just used what I have. I created a in my wardrobe inspo board, and that really came in handy for the days that I didn't want to think of what to wear, but I needed to put something together. I was able to identify what I really like and things that are fantasy items, like things that are in my mind I would like them, but like they're not within my style. And I remember I saw a really, like I was still window shopping, especially online when I was idle, and I realized that a lot of my shopping habits were just coming from idle shopping or idle window shopping, or just shopping because you're bored. So I would still go on these pages and see like what's happening or if they have any sale. And I remember I saw this Shop Z2 top. It was such a nice color, like a nice rich maroon color, and I liked it so much. And And then I sent the picture to my best friend. I was like, I'm really thinking about this top a lot, and when I finish this challenge, I'm gonna buy it. And she was like, but this is not your style at all. And I was like, what do you mean this is not my style at all? And she told me, I've never seen you wearing anything like this. Kwanzaa, it's a high-low. What's the chance you'll actually wear it? And I was convinced in my mind that I could still wear it. And I sat with it, and I sat with it, and I sat with it, and I was like, what do I like about this top? So there are a few things that I liked about the top. One of them was the color. So for a long time, I've not been wearing much color in my wardrobe. So I have a lot of neutrals: black, white, gray, beige. I had not really been introducing color so much, and that's something that I wanted to do more this year. So I realized, okay, that deep red, that maroon, I'm finding it attractive, and that's what I like. So I was like, yeah, let me put a pin on this, because truly, especially with the kind of pants that I have in my wardrobe, I don't see myself wearing a high-low top. So it helped me really think about my fantasy items, why I like them, and it made me sit and simmer with the decisions for longer. Like I was able to be like, yeah, I like the idea of that more than I actually like it. I really appreciated not having to deal with deliveries, packages, going to pick up my pickup mtaani packages. I liked it. I enjoyed it because now I had much less of that. Like I had very few delivery runs. I had not very few, zero. No, wait, that's a line. I'm getting to that. So I had very few delivery runs. I had very few times where people would be coming to my house to drop things off. And I didn't realize how much energy that can take sometimes, because it's just receiving a package, signing for it, but it's also, if you have to go and pick the package, that's a whole errand. I realized that my wish list does not have to be acted upon immediately. So there was this time when, like, obviously at the beginning of the year, I had established that there are pieces that I wanted, and so I created a wish list, and it's still there, and there's some things within the wish list that I got, and then there's some other things that I still haven't come into. But there are things that I ended up buying that didn't fit well, but I was like, but it's in my wish list. There was kind of like that pressure. So I was like, yeah, you can have a lifelong wish list. Like sometimes you don't get the right item, you get them in a quality that is not like up to your standard or like what you're looking for. There were a few things that I bought that were in my wish list, but later I was like, the quality is not great, it doesn't fit great. So it looks like I did not really tick off this wish list item. I ended up selling some things, ended up giving away some things. And so I decided to take it really slow with my wish list. I was able to remember or remind myself what is most important. One, for me, being comfortable is very important. I will not persevere through an outfit or a clothing piece or shoes. I want to be comfortable. I like fabrics that are nice, comfortable, that feel like a hug, like I love sweaters that feel like a hug, and that's why I'm so much into cashmere, cotton, linen. Like I just want to feel comfortable. I love materials that are breathable. I'm not a polyester girl. I will like consider polyester if it's like a polyester blend, a blend of polyester and maybe cotton, but like just like that, the material always feels weird to me. So I was able to be like, yeah, okay, these are the fabrics that I like and I'm okay with that, and this is the reason why I like those fabrics. I also realized that my style has changed, and there are things that I don't want to wear anymore, or at this stage in my life. That might change when I'm older, but yeah, it's really hard to take notice of your style changes if you're always buying things. If things are always coming in, you don't have room to give the things in your wardrobe a chance. And so it's really hard to be like, oh, okay, I don't like this thing anymore. I've come to discover I've worn it like 5 times, and every time I wear it, it feels wrong. And the item for me that was like this was skinny jeans. There's this whole ditch the skinny jeans trend on social media, and everyone is wearing flared pants, but I did not want to let go of my skinny jeans because of that. But every single time I wore those skinny jeans, I was just like, it's looking wrong. It looks wrong. I don't even think that the internet has gotten into my brain like that, but like I've tried and it just doesn't. I don't know. The other thing that is getting to that point for me is belts. There was a time in my life where I loved wearing belts. I have like 2 to 3 belts right now, and for the past 2-3 months I have probably not reached for any one of those belts, and anytime I go to wear them I just take them off. I'm like, it's looking like a lot. Maybe it's because of the flared pants, I have no idea, but yeah, I don't know. And that's not something I've decided on yet. I still want to give my belts a shot, and I'll probably do that during the next buy cycle, which I'll talk about in another video. I also learned that sometimes you don't need to declutter, or at least you need to declutter a little bit slower. When I discovered decluttering, I was on a roll. Like I loved the whole not having too many things, the whole letting go of what you don't like. And that's great. Like if you don't hold on to stuff, if you have more space, if you have more room, if you utilize the things that you have more, but it can get too much. It can be too much. Like for me, for example, I was finding myself in a cycle when I did not understand my style. I did not understand my body type anymore. Like I was a pear-shaped person, but now it looks like my body is changing and my body looks different. My size is changing. I'm no longer a size 8 to 10. I'm now a size between 10 and 14. What I was doing because of that was I was buying a lot of clothes, and I was also getting rid of a lot of clothes. So it was just in, out, and it's okay. But the problem with that is that it can get wasteful really quickly. And because I'm not giving myself room to try things out, to give things a chance, to try and be creative, I'm just buying and getting rid of a lot of things. Fine, I would sell some of these things and I'll get some of my money back, but like the effort, the fact that you can't sell them for the same exact price that you bought them, like it gets to a point where you're just being really wasteful. So I had to just pause, and even with the decluttering I had to pause. So what I decided to do instead was give everything in my wardrobe a chance. And for the things that I would try to give a chance and like inakataa tu kabisa, or I try to put it on and I put it back, I would try to think about that, and then I would play dress up when I'm at home and just try and wear everything and see why I don't like this particular item and understand it. So for example, there's this top that I love. Like I said, I was trying to experiment with more color this year. So I got this yellow mustard-ish top, and it's beautiful. Like the stitching is beautiful, the buttons are beautiful, the material is one of my favorite materials, corduroy. So I was so excited about this thing, and I've worn it like 3 times, and all those 3 times I've worn it, I've just felt like a lot is happening. So I gave it a chance, I styled it differently, and I realized that from then on, anytime I try to wear it, I would just end up putting it back and taking something else out. So I decided, for example, for this item, I've given it a shot, and my mom really liked it when she saw it, so I decided that's something I'm going to give my mom. For example, wearing things or using things to the maximum sometimes is useful, and doing a no buy challenge forces you to do that, because now you don't have an option. You can't buy new things, so you have to use what's there. What really inspired me is one of my close friends wears things to death. Like they have holes, the fabric is thinning type death, and she doesn't buy that many clothes. And I was like, that used to be me at some point. You know, I used to wear things to death. I used to wear something until it was torn, until it was faded, and I was wondering how I got to this place where I just dislike something even just a little bit and I just let it go and I replace it immediately with something else. Habits are really, once you do that, like that whole buying decluttering thing for like 2-3 months, it becomes a habit, and so stopping it becomes hard. And that's why doing this challenge was so important for me, because it's like I need to rewire my brain and my habits so that I'm not being wasteful and I'm shopping a little bit more intentionally and a little bit more sustainably. The clothes that I was trying to give a chance, I would try to style them, for one, and two, actually maybe that should be another video, hopefully. Yeah, the other thing would be I would just store them away and see if I will remember them. And especially because I was also going to the gym and I had also adjusted my diet a little bit, there was a chance I would shed some weight. So if they would fit or not fit during that time, then I would have a reason to purge them, as opposed to just being like, I don't like this anymore, and so it goes. Another really cool thing that I started to notice with myself during this challenge is, in the spirit of being creative, there were some things I would look at and I would try to wear, and I would be like, for some reason this doesn't work the way I want it to, and it would be great if this part wasn't there. So I altered a few clothes. There were trousers that I altered at the end of the challenge. There were trousers that I still really loved that had become a little bit small, so I had my mom alter those for me. I gave away some trousers, I sold some trousers. There's a denim jacket that I also I'm yet to alter it. I love the jacket in general, but it has this ruched hem like at the bottom, and that bothers me sometimes. So I want to try and wear it just like that and see if I like it that way, or if I just want to cut it and crop it, and that's something that I can do on my own. So I was like, yeah, I don't have to give up on everything or like declutter and sell everything. There's some things that I can alter and still love and wear and get some really good use out of. That habit, or that wanting to have fewer things, really started to spill over to other categories. So not just my wardrobe, I would look at my hair products and I'm like, yeah, this is a lot. Like, when did we get here? There was a time all I used was a leave-in and oil and water, and now I have a leave-in, a mousse, shampoo, conditioner, deep conditioner. Like, I have a lot, and especially now because my hair is shorter, I'm in braids most of the times. I was like, yeah, I can use up a lot of these things and take a break from buying them and be more mindful. Also, last year and the year before that, I was really in my experimenting with all the products. When it came to my hair care, I also dyed my hair. So I was trying a lot of things. I already have a sense of the products that work for my hair really well, and I'm not in the experimenting phase anymore. The other thing that I learned during this process is that it's really easy to become a shopping addict. Like, it's so easy. It's like this. And I say this because I am not typically a shopping addict like that. I don't even think I'm a shopping addict right now. But like, for me, between the year 2020 and 2022, during the pandemic, slightly after the pandemic, I did not have that many clothes, and that's not something that used to bother me at all. Like, I had a job that required me to have some sort of uniform, so I wore the same type of clothes when I'd go to work or to the field, and I had like maybe 10 shirts at maximum, 5 pairs of trousers, 5 pairs of shoes, and they were working, and I wore them to death. Like, buying clothes was not such a thing for me, and I still felt stylish. I still felt, satisfied and content with my wardrobe. Then I think from late 2022 going into 2023, I made more money, I gained weight, and I think my habits just started to change. So all the clothes that I wanted to buy that I couldn't afford, that was the time to buy them. Now that my body was changing, now there was also need. Now that the clothes that I wore between 2020 and 2022 were wearing out, it was time to replace things. So I was on a roll, and so undoing that habit, or just being like, wait, I need to pause and actually use what I have right now within those 75 days was not easy, because I would still go on these pages that I typically shop from and see what's up and be like, oh, okay, there's this, it's so nice, I'm missing out, but it's okay. It's fine. For the first few weeks, it was honestly not that easy, but with time, by the time I was getting to completing the first month, I even stopped checking the pages. I unfollowed them. I was just like, this is torture. There's no need to do all this. I also stopped window shopping. Like when I'd be at a mall, I just go and do what I need to do at the mall and leave. There was no need to window shop. I also got the chance to replace things that needed replacing. I bought and read a lot more books during this time. So now that's where my money was going for the most part. There are a few well, I wouldn't call them mistakes, but this one was an honest mistake. Because I was going to the gym, I did allow myself to buy some gym wear. And so there was a time, especially when it started getting really cold, I realized that I would like some oversized t-shirts. So when I was trying to buy that, or when I was buying that, I ended up buying like brand new t-shirts. I didn't anticipate that they would come new, but they did. So I couldn't wear them to the gym. I was like, hey, I don't want to just go and sweat in this. So I ended up purchasing 2 t-shirts for my wardrobe. This was like on day 66, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I remember the day because I was like, oh my god, I think I've made a mistake. And this was because I was shopping online as well. So when they came, I remember texting the friend that I was doing the challenge with, and I was like, I might have broken the rule of like not buying any clothes. But yeah, I gifted 1 t-shirt to someone. It ended up being like way too big on me, and I kept 1. The other way that clothes entered my wardrobe that day, or a piece of clothing entered my wardrobe that period, was I went to my mom's shop and she was showing me what she was working on, and she asked me to fit a dress, and I was like, oh, it's so cute, I love it. And she was like, yeah, you can have it. So I just accepted it because it's a gift. And yeah, that was just about it. So about 3 pieces of clothing entered my wardrobe during that time. And I extended myself grace. For out of those 3, I kept only 2. And I'm excited to wear them when it gets warmer. So that's it about the challenge. I hope this video inspires you. If you're feeling like you have a lot of stuff in your wardrobe, in your space, that you want to take a pause on buying things, it's not easy, but it's really fulfilling when you're done and you're like, yeah, I actually have a lot of things. Like, I really came to realize that I have a lot of stuff, like a lot in general. And it's just been within a short period of time where I was consuming mindlessly. So yeah, it definitely urged me to be more mindful with my consumption. And there's a point at which I remember telling my friend, I feel like I'm gonna extend this no buy to the end of the year. And she was like, because you're going to the gym, I would say just give yourself some room to buy a few more things after the challenge. You can assess. That was a really good challenge, and I'm hoping to do a 30-day no buy challenge very soon. And this challenge will now be for all categories, not just my wardrobe. Should I decide to do it, or when I decide when I'm doing it, I will create a video for that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.